Hello everybody and welcome, this is Roland from Graphic in Motion. In this tutorial I want to show you how to customize my street art style promo template. So let's take a look at the animation and then we will dive into the customization process.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Okay, that was the whole template. So when you buy the template you will get the After Effects file, and as I wrote in the description, all these videos and the footage is not included in the download, but it doesn't matter because of course you want to add in your own content, and that's what we're going to do now. So the first thing I want to show you is how you can enter your logo and some titles. So let's start with that. Therefore we enter our project window and we have the footage placeholders folder and the title placeholders folder. At first I want to add in some kind of logo instead of this placeholder here, or as I did in my preview video, some kind of a picture or photo of you or anybody with an alpha channel. This also looks quite cool. So I will just go to footage and open up this folder, and I have to scroll down here to go to my logo composition and just double click to open it up. And here you see this is just a placeholder, and I will now import my alpha hip hop guy. So I will just move to my library and I will import my picture which I created in Photoshop, and now I just will position it and scale it down a little bit because it's kind of too big, and let's put it in like this, maybe scale it down a little bit more like this. Okay, and now I just can disable my placeholder. You can of course delete them also, and when I go back to my animation composition you'll see that now the guy is inside here, so you can put in your logo or a photo with an alpha channel, whatever. It looks kind of cool then. So now let's edit the title, the main title. You see behind him there is title number 4. So we have to go to our title placeholders and open up this folder and just double click on title number 4. You see that there are two different titles. There are the footage titles. These titles always appear when there is some footage visible. I will just search a frame. Like here, you see title number 1, footage title number 1 is footage title number 1. But we are dealing with title number 4 now, so we have to enter our title number 4 composition and just double click on it, and now I have my title here. And I can enter, let's say, street art style. And now I made a mistake here, sorry. And now when I go back to my animation composition, I can check the result, and you see it's way too big and doesn't look so good. So I go back to my title and I will just decrease the size of the font a little bit. Let's make it 150. and that it still looks a little bit bigger, I will just increase, in my case, the scaling a little bit and go back to the animation, and now it looks a lot better. Of course, what you can do is change the position of the title, and you can do this inside here, or you can also do it inside the animation composition. Just select the title layer and move it with your cursor or with the mouse. It doesn't really matter, you can change it in both compositions. Another thing I want to show you is a special feature of this font I used. I don't remember the name now. It was, yes, here it is. It's the Allen font block, and it's a free font, so a link will be included in the download and of course in the items description, where you can find this cool font and install it in your PC to use it. So let's go back to our title, and you see this font has some special features depending on symbols you use. So now I only use the star here, you know, it's just the normal star, but you also can use like the brackets, then you get something of this crazy whatever it is, and there are a few different things. I didn't even try all of them, but you can play around with this and see what kind of special symbols we get there. So I just used, you know, this is, for example, this is a semicolon, and yes, just play around. So I always used stars or brackets for my titles. Okay, let's go back to the render composition, and you see now the title is finished. The same procedure applies to any other title. Like this is one of the titles in the beginning. You see, enter third title, so it's title 3. Just double click, oops, sorry, double click title 3, and now you see you can just enter your title. And one more thing I want to tell you, which is important. You see that I made these strange color settings, so my font is white and the outlines are gray. Do not change these settings, even if it doesn't look very cool inside the title composition, but I applied some effects so that you can control these colors with our style setup. I will show you this in a moment. Just to mention that you do not have to change the title colors within these title compositions. Okay, now we'll show you how you can enter some footage. Therefore, we will just move to our first block featuring some footage. If you take a look and scroll down here in the animation composition, you see that there are all these blocks with the different footage elements and stuff. So now I'm here, and here is my footage number 1. You also can see it here. And now we go to our footage placeholder and open up the footage 1 composition. And you see there is a matte here and just a placeholder layer and the title. And we want to replace this with your footage. So therefore we just have to import some footage. You can use video, you can use photos, you know, whatever. I will just use a video for now because I used it for my preview video, some kind of a hip-hop dancer. So let's import this. And to keep it organized, I can create a new folder for my footage and just put it inside there. So, and now what I can do is just select my replace with your footage layer and just select my footage, drag it down, hold down Alt on your keyboard and release it. And now you see the footage placeholder is replaced with your footage. So the first thing I have to do is to get rid of my title here, just disable it. And now you see that here the video is a little bit too small now. So this is no problem, I just have to press S and now we can play with the scale settings, and I just scale it up until the whole paint splatter is filled here, you know. And another thing I want to show you, when you take a look at the video, there are two different kinds of paint splatters. There is this one, you know, which is like with the splatter here, and the second one is more solid, has a little bit different shapes. And of course, you can change this within your footage composition. You don't have to, but you can. I will show you how to do this. Therefore, you just have to select your footage matte, which is called 169 because it's a 16:9 format. And you can go inside your composition, and then inside the compositions folder you can find the footage matte 1692. And so just select this one down here and the same procedure, drag it down, hold down Alt and release it. And now you see you have another shape. What you can of course do if you have movies or photos which have a little bit of another format, you can just scale this, you know, like make it a little bit narrower or wider or, you know, whatever is needed. Then when you go back to the render comp, of course the look will be a little bit different, but could fit your footage. So let's go back to this. I actually do not like this, so I will just change back to my standard matte. And when I go to my animation, you can see that now my footage is imported. Now let's go to the styling feature of this template, which is also pretty interesting. You can style this whole look of the template from only one control panel, and this is called the style setup. So select the style setup layer, and now you see inside your effect controls panel that we have kind of a number of colors here that you can change. So I will go to a frame where you can see some light streaks and some flares, and everything is visible so that we can adjust the colors here better. And I will just show you a quick way how to create a style. So first thing we can change is the color of the flares here. Let's say I want the flares to be like greenish or something like this. Just, you can leave this color always as a little bit of a brighter color. You can of course make it more intensive, but I will leave it for now. Let's take a look what this does. And now we have the green flares. Another thing I can do is to change the main light color. The main light is just lighting up the scene a little bit and gives it a basic color feeling. So I can change this just as an example now to a little bit of a warmer color. You'll see now when the flares are that intensive, there will not be much difference, but the overall look will be a little bit warmer and different then. So let's click OK here. And you see now a little bit the feeling changed. So the next thing I show you is how you can change the streak color, the light streak color. Also very easy, just change this color, and I want this to match my flares, so I will probably select a similar color but a little bit darker, because the flares are set to add mode, and this should get us a similar color than our flare. Yeah, it looks quite cool. So the next colors are the ink colors. We have 3 ink colors. If you take a look at this picture, then you see that we have in the background these paint splatters, and they are like this violet and like this yellow and black. And that's what you can change here. So if you want to change the ink color, let's say we want to change this to kind of an orange or whatever. Normally I would not change this ink color, I would leave it to black because it gets maybe too crazy. But let's do it just as an example. No, I will change the other color to orange, so this one. I'll change this one to orange. And this one to kind of this color, a little bit brighter. Okay. And make this even more orange. Okay, so I can also change the text color, and now we have no text in our frame, so I will just move to a frame where we have some text. And let's take a look what we did. You can see now the effect of the main light, that the whole thing looks quite warm. So now let's go to the main color, and yeah, you can change it to whatever you want. I would leave this to white normal because it looks quite good, but just as an example, I change it now. And the text outline color, this is what I was talking before when I edited the titles. You can change it here. We could also just take the same color. This is probably the better idea, to take the same color here and take the same color here, or even better to leave this white. You know, it really looks shit. And of course you can change the color of the star elements here. So we have black and white colors now, and you can maybe just exchange it and make this black No, sorry, it was the wrong way. Cancel. So just take this black, make this white, and it gives it a totally different feeling. Of course, you can change the colors as you want. So let's make this black, and let's take here the same orange. And now again another feeling. I mean, you know, this style is really not cool, but I'm just doing something, just testing out whatever, you know, to show you that you can customize the whole look very easy. The next feature I want to present to you is the audio reactive part of this template. When you take a look at the preview video, you see that the light flashes and the zoom, the slight zoom of the camera, are reacting to the audio. When I made this animation, I chose the song Ramos by Humpty the One from Audio Jungle. You will find a link in the items description and also in the download folder. And if you want to use this music, if you want to purchase his license and use it for your video, you don't have to do nothing, then just import it. So I will show you how to do this now. We go to our music composition, which is empty now, and we just import the music. Let's take a look. And I have my file here, and I can just place it in here and take a look that it really starts at frame 0. And now I can go to my animation, and you know,
Audio Jungle.
the music will fit perfectly to the animation. But of course you can use different music, you know, you can use your own music, and you can also achieve some audio reaction, but we have to do a little bit of work, and I will show you how to do this now. So let's say you don't want to use this song, which I chose for the animation, you want to use something else. So I just will take another kind of a hip-hop track now, because the whole style of this thing is a little bit like urban hip-hop, you know. So let's go here to the music composition and just put in our another song, which is also kind of cool. I used it for another template once. And now I just want to drive my animation with this from this music. And this is actually pretty easy. You can create keyframes from audio, and we will use this feature now to get our animation going. So let's go, just select the music, and you can do this inside the music composition, it's no problem. Go to animation and go to keyframe assistant and say convert audio to keyframes. And then he will create a layer, and if you press U on your keyboard and reveal the keyframes, you will see that he made three lines of keyframes. The one is left channel, we don't need this, so we will just disable it, and right channel, we don't need this too. We just want to use the both channels. And if I take a look at this graph editor to get all the waves, you can see that he just created keyframes accordingly to the waveform of the audio. You could of course use something like a high pass or a low pass if you want to have keyframes that follow only your bass or the kick or whatever, you know. You can put on filters and then make this effect. But I just took the whole sound range. And now I can just copy these keyframes. I select them by just dragging over them. I don't have to do this in the graph editor, of course. I could do it here also, you know. Just select all the keyframes. I don't have to go this far because our animation is not that long. So I just press Ctrl C to copy it. And now I go to my animation. And you see that I have at the top here is an audio reaction layer, and if you press U, you see that here's a slider control and here are keyframes, and these are the keyframes I created from the Ramos song, and I just will delete them now. Just select them all and press delete, and now I will move the cursor to frame number 1 or to frame number 0, this is important, and just select the slider control and press Ctrl V to import our keyframes. And if you take a look at the graph editor here, you see now our audio reaction is here. And if I move to a frame where we have a peak, then you will see that our lights, that the flashes are bright and that's the audio. The camera will zoom in a little bit. So this is the effect, the audio reactive effect. I can just render a small part just to show you what changed now. So I will just make a quick ramp preview. So now I've nearly finished the ramp preview. So when I make a preview, you see now my light flashes and the slight zoom of the camera are following my audio. And so we have some audio reactive feeling. Okay, this is more or less it. I hope that the tutorial helps you to customize this template. If you have any further questions or problems, just feel free to write me a message through VideoHive or just to my email, which is rh@graphicinmotion.com. So thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the template, create some nice animations with it and have fun. See you soon. Goodbye.